Welcome to the Acumen 360 Live Cast. This is episode 2, and today we have another guest to interview today. But first of all, I got me, Dami, and I've got my co-host, Andy. What's up, Andy?
Happy to be here, man. Thank you very much for the invitation, as usual, man.
Good stuff, good stuff. So how we been doing with during this isolation period? How's it been going?
We stay isolated, innit? I tried to break the rules the other day, but yeah, the missus just whipped me right back into place. Said, babe, the government told us to stay home.
Save lives.
And I said, all right, yeah, I guess no suya for you then. Yeah, I make a quick break to grab some suya, but bro, it wasn't possible, man. No, but on a serious note, it's just good, just time to spend an opportunity to spend time with the family, as you and I have kind of spoken about a few times, and just watching the kids play. Today we've done puzzles and all manner of things, man, and it's always good.
Nice.
So, by the way, it wasn't because of the isolation that got me to do this. I does this all the time, but now I get to do more of it. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
So, Andy, today we've got another guest with us. He goes by the name of Samson Opayemi.
Come on.
Wow.
I had to just, but
I feel like there's a Nigerian. I feel like there's a Nigerian.
Opayemi.
I feel Opayemi, maybe.
Opayemi.
Opayemi.
How I got through school year was saying Opayemi. Yeah? Yeah, Opayemi. So Opayemi.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Syllables, isn't it?
I feel like there's a Nigerian thing going on here. Like, last week it was, this week is a night, next week a night. I'm just trying to understand. There are some.
I guess we're good people.
There are some successful Ghanaian people around. I'm just trying to let you know that.
All right.
Carry on.
We've got 3 months in isolation, so I'm sure we'll have enough time to bring them on.
Listen,
so
by the time we finish the interviews, bro, I'll be interviewing in the vest, bro. I don't think I've got 3 months worth of stock, bro. But anyway, carry on, bro.
So now our special guest today, Samson. Thank you for coming on. He's a techie. He's into digital art. He's a digital skills tutor. He studied product design at the South Bank University. He's also massively into graphic design, and also he's a photography fan, which is something we can vibe on. So he's also very big into youth work, and it's our honor and our pleasure to have you here today. So welcome, Samson. How are you?
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Fantastic. How are you coping with the isolation?
Man, the thing is, because I'm such I like being around people. It's been very difficult for me. So not going to church, not going to work. I don't know. It's even just the journey as well. I actually enjoy commuting because I can read on the way to work.
Yeah.
And I can just do a little tutorial on my train on my laptop as well. So it's been a bit difficult. But other than that, I've gone back to exercising again. So last week, I spent some time in the park playing football by myself, doing a few sprints, sit-ups, lunges, all them sort of stuff there. So it's been all right.
You're kind of showing off, bro.
And how do you even mean to, man? Come on.
Showing off, bro. He's gonna go through the whole workout,
No, I had to cut. Uncle Belly's growing, but I'm trying to prevent it from going further. So.
But Uncle Belly is fashionable now. I'm just trying to put it out there, don't feel stressed.
It was fashionable, Andy. Come on.
So it was fashionable. Bro, Belena Moni. You haven't heard that before. I'll play, man. But no, Samson, nice to have you here, bro. Nice to have you here. We really appreciate obviously you giving up your time. And I know obviously Acumen 360 is all about kind of inspiring, educating and showing the young people how to not make mistakes or how to make new mistakes. So it's kind of amazing to have you here to kind of share your story. I know Dami's already got the power question for you to open up. So I'm gonna hand over to you, sir.
Thank you, Andy. So yeah, Samson, really, we just want to find out about you. Tell us a bit about yourself, your background, and how you got to where you are today, effectively.
Wow. Okay. Background: Nigerian, of course. Born in the UK. I'm the only one that was born in the UK out of my siblings. I have 2 brothers, 1 sister. Go to church every Sunday. Lived in London all my life, so I haven't really, well, East London in particular, so I haven't really been anywhere else, but I have travelled a bit, to be fair, family. I've always done some sort of design as well, which has been a way for me to express myself, which has been fun. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, but I feel like what's got me to where I am today is the fact that I've remained continuously being curious. So I would always ask questions. My family knows me for asking a bit too many questions when I meet family. So that's one thing that's kept me going. And then I would say what's sort of steered me away from making the wrong mistakes is my parents. They're very, I would say, disciplined. And when I do go out of line, you'll know. So they'll just tell you that, listen, you can't be doing this. And then obviously they'll either ground you or I don't know. It's just you sort of copy what you see as well. That's a big part of it. So my older brothers have made mistakes and I've learned from that. So I've had the option to actually go in that direction. But learning, because we have quite a bit of an age gap as well. Like my oldest brother is about 10 years older than me. Then my next brother is 5 years older than me. And my sister is about the same as well. So it's I have good role models around me. And my dad has made sure that I don't make the same mistakes that they've made. And also church as well. Church has given me a lot of good role models in the past. And then just being around good company. So not necessarily saying you're going to go to fellowship every single week or anything like that, but it's just having fun in the right way. So playing football, as you usually do. I played football for a very long time when I was younger and then sort of slowed down. And I've always had positive outlets as well. So for example, photography, that's something I just picked up recently in the past year. But that was because when we started our digital skills training company, we had a, what would I call it, we were commissioned to film someone's wedding, and all I did was drive to the venue and drive back, and I was like, no, I can't be doing that. That's just some dead roll. So I was thinking, okay, how can I get involved in the next shoot or the next video, whatever it may be? So I thought, okay, let me buy a camera, invest in myself, learn how to use it, get familiar with it, and then be around people that are having cameras as well. So I even recently started going to car spotting meets as well. So going to Sloane Street and then just literally taking photos of cars, being around those sort of people. And eventually you never know what could happen. I might have a friend that's an Arab and then that could lead to another place. So naturally, as a person as well, I just feel I'm open to speaking to anyone. One of my friends, Sean, would tell me that I have no shame. That's why he has confidence in me, being able to help him out with his business. And then literally just helping him out with customers if they have any questions or anything like that. So I thought that's a bit about me and how I got to where I am. I just literally continuously being curious, always asking questions, putting myself out there, going to events, even if I may not need to go on the path of, I don't know, being a trader, I'll still go anyway just to meet people. And then that's literally someone that I've met. And then when I meet them again, they'll be like, oh, I remember you. You're the guy that was always asking questions, or you're the guy that was mad open. Just stuff like that. That's what literally got me to where I am. And prayer as well, obviously, on the child of God. So, yeah. Other than that, you probably have to prompt me and ask me what else, but that's what I can think of off the top of my head. So
Dami's got bullet points for you, man. Dami, this guy is always quick. He looks still, but he's typing or something.
He's thinking.
He's got loads of follow-ups. I've got a few follow-ups, so I'll wait to hear what Dami.
Okay. So my next point was thanks for giving us a brief introduction to yourself. I picked up a few things you said. Can you tell us a bit more about your digital skills training company and how that came about, and then how it's evolved over time?
So basically, I was on a placement year because I done a 4-year course. And then I had to find
what course was that? Was that
product design.
Product design, okay.
Yeah, so it's a Bachelor of Science. So I'd done that placement year. I was trying to find a building services engineering company to work at. Cause I'd done a two-week placement there during Easter, but then they let me down. So I was thinking, where am I going to get the next placement? Where should I go? Who should I meet? And through my connection of Sean, same guy I spoke about earlier, he said there's an opportunity at Business Launchpad, and Business Launchpad is the youth-led charity in Tooting, and they've got a few sites in Brixton, Southwark, and Battersea. But yeah, basically, they said that they need 2 entrepreneurs that they can sort of give a space to. They'll give you all the tech to sort of engage young people with, and it's yours. Literally, just engage young people, and then just grow it. Like, and at the end, it'll be yours. You can register it in your name and everything, and it's yours to keep. And then they would pay us, obviously, during that time as well. And literally, it just started there. That's how the digital skills training company came about. It's called Shapeways.io. So it's all about shaping the path of young people and giving them alternative routes into whatever their interests are. So it could be filming, it could be coding, could be graphic design. It's just basically everything digital is what we try and do, even branding as well. And we've made a lot of good progress, I would say, in a short space of time. Like, we've tested our business model and it works. So that's been fun. We've met a lot of people along the way that have helped us out. So yeah, that's how it literally started. It started from literally a placement year and myself being recommended to be put forward to run it alongside another guy called Obed. So he's helped out as well and he's done a lot of work. So I didn't really expect my placement year to be like that, set up another business, but a good thing came out of it. So I'm happy about that.
How was it after obviously setting up a business or kind of developing this business during your placement year? How was the inspiration to go back to complete your degree? As in, what did you feel that there was a necessity to actually finish?
Like, I get what you mean, because I had a similar issue when I was doing my foundation degree. Like, it was a 2-year course, but I only wanted to do 1 year and bounce. But then they were like, if you don't do the whole 2 years, then you're not going to get the full degree. And I don't like doing things halfway. So I just made sure that I ride it out. Even in my final year, it was tough because I wasn't doing the best. I only started to peak towards the end. And by then, it was too late to get the grade which I wanted. But I didn't really allow that to hinder my progress or hinder my, hinder my drive. Because I knew that I have something waiting for me once I finish. And for me to inspire other people to do well, I learned how to start what you finish. I would need to finish that degree in order to be an example to other people, if that makes sense, rather than doing everything half, learn a bit about this, learn a bit about that. But to be honest with you, in product design, they try and encourage you to know a little bit about every industry, or like, you learn a lot about one product you make and you have to literally know everything around it. So like electronics, things like material science, things like ergonomics, which basically means how the user fits around the product. It's just like there's a lot of content. It probably takes a lifetime to sort of understand the projects fully. But I knew that if I want to help out the people at our center, it's important for me to acquire as many skills as possible from university, because I'm only there for a short space of time. So then it's also about learning the basic principles and building off that, and then feeding it to them. So I always try and learn so I can help others, not just myself. If that makes sense. Because then if I can teach it, then I know I understand the project or the theory behind it very well. So that's always been my thing. So
I've got 3 questions that are just in my head at the moment. I don't know where Dami's at, but I'm just gonna just chuck them in and we can kind of So the first question is, I want to know a bit about this Sean person. You've mentioned his name about 4 times.
Wow, I didn't realize.
And that kind of tells me that Sean is a mover and a shaker. He makes things happen, or he's got his ears to the ground of some sort.
Yeah.
I want to hear a little bit about him and how important to the story. And the second question is, as a Nigerian man that you are, how was it breaking the news to your parents that you were going to go and study something that I know they probably would have said, you are going to go and study to become a graphic designer.
or doctor.
Or it's like, why? What? How was that? How was that conversation? And
Yeah.
the third question is, it seems faith is a very important part of your story. Just to kind of go, it's probably one of Dami's question. I stole it quickly, bro. It seems faith is definitely a really important part of your journey, and I want to know why that was, because there's probably loads of people who are not, of the faith, but are still able to achieve and do whatever. So why was it that you kind of allowed the faith that your parents have kind of raised you up with to kind of be a driving force in your journey or in your story? I'm going to hand that back to Dami. I don't know what he wants to segue into.
Should I address your questions first?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Go.
So basically, the first question was, Sean, who is he, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So going back to what I said before about me being curious, I don't know what I was in the library, but I went to the library and I saw a space called Digilab. And I was like, okay, what's Digilab? Went in there, saw a bunch of tech. I saw robots. I saw Arduinos, which are basically like credit card size computers they can program. And then I saw other kids there, like, I don't know, like 12, 13 at the time. And they were learning how to create their own servers from scratch. I was like, this looks sick. And then he said, oh, come in here anytime. Whenever you want to do work here. You can do your projects, whatever. And then, yeah, it's just your space to do whatever you want. So then he must have seen me on my laptop using CAD, which basically means computer aided design. So that's literally what every product you see has been made in, so before it gets 3D printed or whatever happens to it, how it gets made. So that aside, when he saw that on my computer, he was like, wow, this guy, you got some skills. But I didn't realize how valuable the skill was until he said, look, I can pay you for this. All you have to do is design me a flyer, design me a product in your software, and then I'll get paid. I was like, cool. So then it all sparks from there. Not knowing that Business Launchpad, the enterprise charity, they saw that model that he created and that sort of social enterprise that he sort of put in the library, and then they wanted to replicate that in South London. So when they done it in South London, they test traded it, and then that's when a couple years later they brought myself and Obed in. So like I've been on a journey with Sean for a very, very long time. Like even recently, I went to Birmingham for the Badminton England event at the Birmingham Arena. So like he saw that, okay, you can hand out bags and talk to customers or talk to fans and engage with them. So it's like our relationship is beyond just him helping me and me getting money from him, because we've been in contact for so long, and it's just worked. I don't know how to explain what's happened there, but that's happened basically. That's just the relationship that we built together. That's meaningful. And then your second question:
Is he older than you? Or?
Yeah. He's a couple years older than me. So
Okay.
he's ran a number of businesses that are tech based.
Right.
So his current business that he's running now is called Street Tag, and that's basically how you can encourage families within London and the world to literally collect street tag points. So like you go into like a room or a park or a building and you walk into a geotag and then you get points. There's a leaderboard on that app, and then you get prizes or you get money off in certain shops. So like the key thing is that he's taught me how to map out a business on a lean canvas, same as BLP. That's what they advocate. And then literally you just test the ideas and you just learn, you fail, you learn, you fail. And the more you do it, the better you get at doing it. So that's what I've learned from him and BLP. So that's how the relationship has literally grown. And then that's why he's so important in my life and my journey. That's why I've mentioned him so many times without even realizing it. So
he sounds like he's been a mentor.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that, but
yeah,
basically.
How crucial do you think that has been to your journey and your success and the success that you've had so far?
I feel it's been very crucial because it opened me up to something that I had within me that I didn't know I had. If that makes sense. And sometimes it happens quite often where I'll learn something else new and people are like, you can do this, but I'm like, can I? But then that's where the doubt, I sort of try and swerve it. But second question, what was it again?
Faith.
Faith.
Oh, sorry, no, it was about telling your parents you were gonna go to
No,
study?
they knew. They knew I wasn't gonna do doctor, lawyer. They might have got the inclination that I was gonna do something like engineering,
Right.
but then I don't remember why I didn't do it. I can't. But yeah, but I've always leaned onto a creative side anyway. So they just knew from the start that I'll probably end up doing architecture. But then the course that I did for the foundation degree didn't really set me up for it.
Right.
But looking back, I could have tailored my degree to actually do that. But I thought, nah, they're giving me product design skills here, not architecture skills. So I just followed that route. My parents, I would say, they're not really as strict as they sound. Like, even though when people meet my dad, they're like, this guy is disciplinarian, he's quiet, like doesn't take nonsense. But then, like, because he studied up to master's level doing engineering, he realized that, I don't know, I don't want to get too, but basically things went in his favor.
Listen, say it.
Things went in his
Go there. It's
Let's
fine.
go there, man. Let's go there.
All right, cool. So he graduated in the 90s, just before the 80s, and racism was all up in the air and that sort of stuff. Things are changing now for us, so we're kind of lucky. But he always told me that make sure you get a skill that you can do that would always make you money, and that can allow you to feed yourself rather than relying on other people. So I was going to go college and do something like plumbing or electrician, but then there was a teacher of mine that was in secondary school telling me that try and go towards the engineering route or like that sort of design route because you're intelligent enough to actually do that. I'm not saying that electricians and plumbers aren't intelligent, but it's a lot more technical than it is to be a plumber or a bricklayer, I would say. So then he stared me saying, look, just do a skill that can bring you money and you'll be all right. That's what I did. And then that's why they're okay with it, because they know that once I get my grad job after I just graduated last year, things will be okay and I'll be able to fend for myself. So they didn't really have an issue with that. As long as I can put food on the table, they're cool. So I'm quite lucky in that sense. Because my dad's got qualifications in plumbing and electrician, but he didn't have the chance to utilize it because of his age. He was quite old after, not old, but I'd say fairly getting to that age. So
Okay, that's interesting.
And then faith has been important to me because there's times where you can't pray for yourself, but people pray for you. That's like the biggest thing I've taken from church, because you could be in a very, very dark place at times where you don't know what to do. People around you don't know how to help you, that are your peers, I would say. People are like the same age, they're like, what's going on with this guy? Like, this is just different. But people at church and your family will always be there for you. And they always know that one day things will get better. And then that's when they'll sort of, like, you know how they say mother's prayers are so important? Like, you can't beat that. I'm not going to lie to you. That's like, you came out of their womb. So there's no way they're going to just put you aside and say, you know what, I'm tired of you. Just go away, do your own thing. So that's been my journey of faith. And then there's friends that I have from church. So I've moved church now, but there's friends that I've had from my previous church that I still talk to today, and they've seen my growth, but I haven't realized it until they say, oh, I'm proud of you. And I hear that, I'm like, okay, it's a bit weird, but then I'm like, okay, maybe I've done a decent job here. My parents have done a decent job, and my community I've done a decent job by making sure I've been staying clear and straight and being on the straight and narrow. If that makes sense. So that's what I say about faith.
You're a very grounded individual.
Thanks.
And in our previous interview, I think a question that I asked that I think after the conversation I walked away thinking was like, is success only for like special people, or is it available to all? Like, do I need to have all of these kind of facets in place, these kind of things in place? That I need a mentor, I need a mother that prays for me, I need a family of where my dad is educated to a level where he understands the education academic system. Do I need all of these things before I can get success? Because it seems like everyone that is successful, that tells their story, has a mentor or has somebody in their life that's pushing them when they're when they feel low, or has stability to a degree. I'm not saying that, you know, they're financially stable, but there's a level of stability at the beginning stage of their story to kind of propel them to wherever it is that they kind of end up at. And I just want to know, like, can anybody be successful?
I feel like anybody can.
Right.
But sometimes we have to realize sometimes we have mentors, but we're not aware of those mentors. For example, like your mentor could be someone on YouTube, but they don't even know that they're your mentor. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you're in a dark place, we're so blessed in this day and age that we have information and knowledge available to us at all times. As long as you're able to apply what you're learning, then you're good. But sometimes I get what you mean. You do need that sort of physical presence that could just reassure you and tell you that, look, everything's going to be okay and everything will be all right. So I feel like sometimes success isn't just limited to certain people. I feel like it's available to everyone, just as long as you're open and willing to take on advice, able to take criticism, and I don't know. Yeah, that's what I can think of so far. Like, but I feel like it's available to everyone. I feel like it is, because there might be some things that I'm going through now that no one's even aware of, but I've learned how to be resilient enough to just put in my mind that, okay, like every event on earth comes to an end, if that makes sense. So like, if you're having financial difficulties, you won't be broke forever. Like, you're gonna come back from it and bounce back, and you'll learn how to overcome that more than you did last time. So
cool. So Samson, what does the next 5 years look like for you?
Sounds like an interview.
I know, right?
Yeah, doesn't it? No, you finished grad school, you've got your business, which is quite interesting, because a lot when most of us we finish college or we finish university, you know, everybody's on that, you know, get a grad job, get a job. But you've taken a slightly different path, although the path was set up for you somewhat in your placement year that you did, which was fantastic. You've gone straight into business, which I think it takes a lot of guts to do that, number one, because you don't have the security of you don't necessarily have the security of your wages coming in every month. You don't have the security, the job security that, you know, many people crave for. And then you're running a business and you're trying to build something where you may not even be quite sure where it can go to. So, you know, for you, yeah. So first of all, you know, kudos to you for doing that, because that's amazing. It's not everybody that does that. Being an entrepreneur is tough. It's tough, but it's, you know, it has its upsides. But it also it takes a lot of grind and it takes a lot of work. So I guess, yeah. So for me, you know, what for you, yeah, in terms of the next couple of years, what are you hoping to achieve through your business, and what is it that where would you like to see yourself?
I like the fact that you said, where do you hope to see your business? Because to be honest with you, I don't know what the 5 years ahead of us looks like. But what I would say is that with the whole issue of uncertainty in terms of income, I'm sort of blessed in a way because of the person that I work with. Like, we both sacrifice, but I feel like he sacrifices quite a bit more, in the sense that I had to go back to uni and then I'm coming back. So I was literally absent for about, I don't know how long the academic year is, I think it's about 9 months. But the thing that I tried to do was make sure I go there, check how things are doing, chill with them after work, you know, just build a rapport with them. But other than that, like, once I came back, it's been a situation where we're not working for free, but we're doing enough so our heads are above water. So I've realized that I need to just be patient. There's something called like patience capital. So you just literally, what I can give is my time. So when I teach the kids there, the people that come to us, they're paid for, like, on behalf of the young person. So we're helping the young person, which is our social impact. But at the same time, they're paying us for our time to teach them. So that literally covers what we need to actually run the business. So that's that side. And the thing is, Like there are good months which accommodate for other months which are not so good. So that's another thing. And then because we've sort of built a flexible model where we're able to do like filming jobs, coding jobs, like teaching classes. We're able to do like graphic design. We're able to do things like podcasts, and also empowering young people. So when we do that, they naturally want to give back to us anyway. So I feel that's what's helped us. It's like we're not worried necessarily about having a bad month, because I don't know, we're doing so much good that it's just repaid to us, since we never expect how it happens, it just happens. So that's been the key thing for us. But in terms of like a 5-year plan, we just like to sort of think about what's happening now, especially things like the COVID-19 stuff. We're thinking about how we can help other people as well as people helping us, which is like a blessing in a way. So like in terms of like personally as well, I see myself securing a grad role very soon. But at the same time, the point of that is not necessarily just to better myself, but as I said before, it's bettering my community. If I can learn all these valuable skills, and if I can feed off the experience of people who are actually in the industry changing the world, then I can feed that back into wherever I am. It's like a continuous loop. That's how I see it. And yeah, like I don't like using the word entrepreneur, but because it's very, very overused, but I do see myself running a few different things that having different streams of income. But I feel like right now I still need to focus on what I'm doing, which is managing a grad role and helping out with Shapeways to make that successful. So then I can just feed off other things later.
Okay. Just wanted to obviously you mentioned the kind of elephant, the big elephant in the room, which is the COVID-19 thing. For an entrepreneur or somebody who doesn't get paid but pays himself, I think that's probably a better response, right? How has this kind of affected your streams of income?
So the kids that we teach, they're from schools like and youth clubs or community groups or faith groups. So it's been a bit of a difficult situation. So that's meant that the academic has been cut short. So we've had to sort of talk to people that we pay rent to in that sort of sense. So they would understand, just like if you have a house, you will talk to your mortgage lender or talk to your landlord and then you would work something out. But it doesn't necessarily mean that things are just going to be, you get just like, how'd I put it? It's not like a free ride, basically. You're still going to have to accommodate for that in some other way. So you're always trying to create a win-win situation all the time. That's how I perceive it. As well as like it's happening to the whole world, so everyone understands that everyone's having a tough time. If you're not understanding that people are having a tough time, then you have no form of sympathy, and that's just it's wrong. If you go, I mean, so that's
but what have you guys done to try? I mean, are you still in the process of maybe reassessing? Because I work in education, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Are you kind of changing your learning platform from being contact to maybe more online? Is that something that you guys
even before this whole COVID-19 thing started, we're already filming online content anyway. Right. So that if we're not in the room, youth organizations that can't reach us or we're too expensive for us to actually physically go there, they can still have access to our courses. So that's what we've tried to do anyway. So in a way, it's sort of solved that problem without us realizing that issue before it's happened. So yeah.
Excellent. No, good stuff. So Andy, do you want to ask our sort of almost closing question?
Yeah. So Samson, I'm assuming you're a little bit over 17. But Acumen 360, kind of caters to 13-year-olds to 17-year-olds. and we're always trying to figure out, as I said at the beginning, how does a 13 to 17-year-old person make new mistakes by paying attention to old mistakes, if you know what I mean. So I always like to ask people, what would you tell your 13 to 17-year-old Samson? Is there anything that you may have done that, you know, made your journey to success longer? Is there anything that you didn't do that could have potentially? I'm not sure if you understand what I'm saying. So what would you say to your younger self right now, if you had a chance to do so?
I would say one of the things is being able to sort of trust the process of reaching success. Like, you're not going to become successful overnight, and if things do start to sort of go in a downward spiral or downward hill, you need to sort of surround yourself with people that can actually bring you back up. So, for example, when I was playing football, when I was younger, everyone was saying, "Oh, Samson, you're quick, man. You're a problem to the centre backs. You're this, you're that." But then it got to a stage where I wasn't training enough or improving my speed as I got older, because people are growing taller, taking bigger strides, getting stronger than me. And I was like, what's going on here? But if you're able to sort of say to yourself, okay, maybe I should ask my parents to give me extra sessions with a coach that coaches at an academy. So you just have one-to-one sessions with that person once or twice a week. Because experts always have either mentors or coaches to take themselves above the rest. So you always have to do that a little bit more consistently with patience to actually get to where you want to be. So that's what I would say.
Trust the process.
Yes, that's powerful. That's powerful. Trust the process. Have a mentor. Have a coach, because the best people do it. You know, when you look at the Nadals, the Federers, the Djokovic, the Messis, they all have coaches, and it's interesting why we don't apply that to life as well. You know, there are life coaches out there, but we don't. It's not something we necessarily think about. And I think you also mentioned something which would resonate with people as well, is that, you know, we may have mentors and our mentors may not know that they are actually mentoring us, which is also okay. As long as there's that somebody there that you're kind of surrounding yourself with or looking up to, that can help propel you forward. I think that's it's really good. Yeah, go on.
You got another question?
yeah. Sorry. No, because I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it, man. Like, how vulnerable do you need to be to have a mentor? Like, as in, that person knows your failures. Like, they know your wins. They know your losses.
Yeah.
How confident or how courageous do you need to be to share your L's? Like, you know what I mean? With
as I said before, I have no shame. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm just open. That's just sort of the person that I am.
Where does this come from? I mean, how?
I don't know. I have no idea. Like, if you meet my friend Sean, he'll just tell you that Samson has no shame.
Yeah, you're
like,
special,
I'm
man.
just too honest to solve myself. So
you're special.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. But maybe I could think about it and be like, okay, maybe that's it. But right now, I can't put a finger on it.
Yeah. Were you the popular child in school and stuff?
At some point, yeah, but not very well. Yeah. 70 and 9. Yeah, 10.
They carry last.
Huh? What'd you say? Dami, what'd you say?
I said Niger, no, they carry last.
No, they carry last.
Don't come last.
You bring some Ghanaians on, man.
I'm trying
to. Ohayemi.
I said, him. Okay, cool. Shout out to you. No, because I'm quite intrigued, because obviously, like, it is like we become what we see. And I always tell young people about kind of expanding their environment, because a lot of the children I work with, their reality is just South London. And when I say South London, their reality is East Street, Camberwell,
Damn.
Elephant and Castle, done. Maybe London Bridge. No, sorry, Tower Bridge, and that's it. Like, as in, they don't go beyond that. As in, I asked the child if they knew where Stratford was the other day, and they were like, "Nah."
Whoa.
And then I said Westfield,
Yeah.
Stratford City. So, oh yeah, I've been there a few times, and I was like, so it's a case where we become what we see, we become our environment. So
But to be fair,
go for
when I was playing football, right, on a Saturday morning, we'd have fixtures against other schools.
Yeah.
And we would go to Southend High School, for example, and that's how many miles away from where I'm from, which is at Barking and Dagenham. Or would go to somewhere like Langdon and Newham, or would go to somewhere like Cardinal Pole and Hackney. Jumps. That's what sort of opened up my. I don't know. Like I went to different areas to play football. That's what sort of gave me a bit of exposure. And then, for example, I would go to holiday, like short holidays for a weekend in Ireland. Like who goes to Ireland when you're younger? Do you know what I mean?
Family or
with family, with my parents, to like go to another church anniversary, or go to Italy, or go to. I've been to Nigeria a few times as well, but like the first time I probably traveled was when I was in primary school, around year 3 or something.
Right.
But like, not saying that we traveled often, but when we traveled, it meant a lot. Like I didn't realize how much of an impact it had on me, because you'd see different environments. Like even when you read or watch a movie about something and then you actually go there, it's a completely different experience from when you're just going down holiday because you're used to it.
Right.
So
yeah, I think you've answered my question. You were exposed at a very young age.
Yeah.
And the kind of hunger and the you were given the is that you were given the drive to kind of wish and hope for things. Do you know what I mean? If it meant you went on a holiday, at the back of your mind, you're thinking, "Oh, I enjoy this. I want to have more of this." Do you know what I mean? Or, "Oh, wow, I'm playing football." And obviously the confidence, because you're a very confident person. And now I know that it comes from football, because there's no way you could have been a quick player that everyone was gassing up about and you wouldn't have confidence. So I just got to the bottom of it, man. Do you know what I mean? Because like it makes no sense why you're so out there and you're so kind of brave and kind of courageous, or English is failing me at the moment, and I also but I don't know if we'll get the subtitles moving quickly enough if I start talking in the language. But no, that's amazing, man. My last question is this is my last question. I'm quite conscious for time. Are you happy? Are you happy with life?
Happy with life?
Yeah.
I would say I'm satisfied.
What does that mean?
That means that I'm grateful for what I have. I mean, everyone always wants more, but I have to be grateful for what I have now and not be envious of what other people have. Because if you are envious of what other people have and you end up getting it, there might be a certain level of stress that comes with it. Right. And then you're going to be like, well, what the hell, I didn't want this stress. And then you're going to be like, well, you asked for it, so now you've got it, sort of thing. But if you're able to deal with a level of stress a step at a time, and it doesn't come to you too quickly, then you can sort of know how to deal with it. So it's not that bad, but being satisfied is okay.
So we did something the last interview. Thanks for that. We did something the last interview, which was not necessarily creating a reading list, but are you reading anything at the moment?
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, we might have to create a series of reading lists. You know, successful books.
Wait, so I don't know if you had a Bianca Miller and Byron Cole.
Yeah.
Dami.
Yeah.
Okay.
Self-made. Mr. Self-made. Yeah. I got him on IG.
Obviously, but you know.
Yeah.
I've got a few books, so I don't know. I haven't read the first book I read from start to finish was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Right.
And since then it's just literally grown. So I've got this one.
Know Your Onions.
So graphic design. And then I've got like Think and Go Rich.
Yeah.
Saw by TD Jakes. Don't know if you can Saw. Someone gave me Vardy's book as well to read.
Okay.
Rich Man in Babylon, and especially
Maximizing
Manhood.
Okay.
That's a new one for me. Maximize Manhood.
Nice.
Okay.
That's basically it's a YouTube video that I watched. And I was like, okay, there must be a book on this. And then I searched on Amazon and found a book.
Nice.
So yeah.
All right. Looks like we're gonna be creating a little reading list for our.
I can send you guys a list of what I've got and then share it.
That would be helpful, man. All right, I'm done, Dami. No more questions.
So
4 minutes to go.
Yeah, 4 minutes to go. Conscious that Samson has to leave by 9. So at this point, Samson, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you guys, man.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for being, open and honest and giving us an insight into your journey so far. As we always say, Acumen 360 is here to try and inspire the next generation, those who are coming behind us, to try and give them kind of just an insight into our journey, so that they can learn from those who are slightly ahead of them. And as Andy says, they don't have to repeat our mistakes, but they've learned from what we've done, and because you always make mistakes. So I like that, actually, Andy. They let them make new mistakes. So there's no point them making old mistakes. Actually, you make new mistakes. We've done the legwork. So you go and make new mistakes and teach the next lot. So no, fantastic, thank you. And hopefully we'll have you back.
Hopefully,
We might have some synergies, podcasting, and we might get this content to you to edit, and yes, now let's get some synergies going so that we can get these out there on a more regular basis. But we'll talk about that another day. But no, thank you. Really good talking.
Thanks for inviting me as well.
Is there any way, if anyone wants to get in touch with you to find out more about your business, what you're doing, how can they get in touch with you?
My Instagram name, my Instagram handle, whatever they call it, Samson _Opayemi. So Samson, and then Opayemi. Shapeways.io is another website. So that's shape as in shape, and then WAYS.io. And then I also have a personal website as well. So that's literally my name with a hyphen.com. So Samson-Opayemi.com. Or they can just talk to you and then just.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes.
So number is 079. No.
Yeah.
We might as well give you a plug, Samson. Are you single or are you?
I'm single.
You're single.
Yeah,
single, ready to mingle. But obviously it's isolation, so the only mingling will be, Skype.
House party.
House party.
Nah, man, it's love. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
really appreciate your time.
Much appreciated.
Man.
So,
blessed evening.
I've been Dami. You've been Andy. You've been Samson. Andy. Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.
Till we.
Roll.
All right. God bless.
My elbow's moving,
What that was? Am I low?
Molo.
No, you guys are banter. It's too funny.
I'm hanging around too many Nigerians, man. Anyway, man. Guys, peace
out.
All right.
Thanks, man. Take care. Bye.